Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Burnice versus Yanagi versus Lighter. Who should you go for? But before I go into the long answer of this question in detail, I just want to have a disclaimer that if you don't care about maxing endgame rewards in this game, it's not really gonna matter as much as how you go about it. Pull for who you like. Also, the short answer is of course going to be depends according to what are your own goals within this game. And now let's move on towards to the long answer. Let's begin with Burnice first, since she's going to be the first banner out of these three characters. Burnice is a great pickup for Jane teams, but not really needed. You can still play Jane with Set plus Caesar and it's going to work perfectly fine. Also do note that current content right now is very favorable towards fire and physical weakness enemies, but that will change in the future by introducing enemies that are resistant to physical with fire weakness and also enemies that are resistant to physical with electric weakness. Just as a reminder, weakness and resistances within this game also affect your anomaly build-up press and days accumulation on targets beside doing more or less damage, and that's why it's extremely important that you match the attribute weaknesses or at least play to neutral element. I'd also like to give you a heads up that if you're planning to play Jane, Caesar, Burnice team, the Caesar attack buff only buffs technically the on-field unit and not the off-field unit. So whenever Burnice is doing off-field damage, she will not have that attack buffed. If you do play with Lucy, she will have the attack buff even off-field, although Caesar will provide more comfort with the shield for much easier gameplay. But do note, if you're already playing something like Jane, Burnice and Lucy, Jane can dodge quite a lot and you should be fine. You can also play Burnice with Piper and Lucy. It is a low-cost team and it is ideal for new players who start on Burnice banner. However, I don't recommend playing Piper without a shield because it can be very uncomfortable playing Piper without a shield because you have to spin, enemies might be super aggressive, you have to cancel your damage or just tank the damage and risk of potentially dying. So it can be very frustrating. Personally, if I started with this team as a new player, it wouldn't be a team I would be sticking out with for long. I'll look into getting a replacement for Piper with Yanagi, which comes right after Burnice. Burnice will work great with Yanagi, so if you're going for Yanagi, you should pick up Burnice as for the third teammate. You can go with either Lucy or Set as an A-rank option, and for S-rank options, you can go with Rina or Caesar. Do know that Rina might be a bit clunkier to play without M1. As for Caesar, you won't have that attack buff for off-field Burnice damage, but beside that, it should be all good. Speaking of Yanagi, she's the banner after Burnice. She can work without her, but I highly recommend that you do get Burnice for your Yanagi if you want to make your Yanagi team stronger. However, do note that there might be some other workarounds without Burnice as well. So if you're not planning to get Burnice no matter what, but you still want to get Yanagi, then I would recommend waiting for a Yanagi rerun, because in the near future we are supposedly getting a new anomaly character from Idol faction, Ether Anomaly. You can also wait before pulling on her banner, not pulling day one, just in case if you get some more information about any upcoming anomaly characters that will work with her, and you can also go from there. Also do know that the drip marketing for Zenless Zone Zero will happen before Yanagi banner is up, so we will know if in 1.4 there are any anomaly characters, and if they are, the likelihood of them working with Yanagi is very high, because so far in this game they keep releasing back-to-back synergies from Zuyuan into Chingy, Jane into Caesar, Burnice into Yanagi, so they're releasing basically back-to-back synergistic packages. So the likelihood of Yanagi working with any 1.4 character that is anomaly is extremely high, if that happens to be the case. You can also now play Yanagi mono electric teams. She has a new ability to have a special polarity disorder effect, which deals 75% of the original disorder damage, and it also scales of her anomaly proficiency. This can also work in a mono electric team, but the damage multiplier loss of not having normal disorders, it's probably still not worth doing it. However, if you're willing to vertically invest into Yanagi, especially her M2, the likelihood of potentially working then is absolutely there, but we'll definitely have to test and see in practice. Also, you can play Yanagi with Jane and or Caesar teams. However, do keep in mind that rotations might be awkward with Jane, because Jane requires quite a significant amount of field time. And lastly, let's talk about Lighter. He's the third banner after Yanagi. On launch, he will work with Ellen or Soldier 11 teams because he provides a damage boost and resistance down for ice and fire damage. That's why he's gonna work great with those type of teams. Also, for his additional ability to be active, he has to be played with the Sons of Calydon character or an attacker within the team, such as Ellen or Soldier would work perfectly fine. If you don't have Ellen or Soldier 11 on account, but you truly want Lighter, you can still go for him, but then you have to make sure you saved up pulls for any upcoming ice or fire attack DPS units, because otherwise you're not gonna have teammates that can fully take advantage of his kit. Also, do know that Lighter should be more comfortable to play compared to Lycaon in something like an Ellen team, but Lycaon will still work perfectly fine for Ellen teams for now, but not necessarily as best in slot anymore. Also, Lighter value will get better from his release onwards when we get future upcoming ice or fire attack units. At the moment, the likelihood of Miyabi showing up in 1.4 patch and being ice attack is relatively high, of course subject to change. However, do keep in mind that when we get 1.3 patch up, we will know exactly what 1.4 stuff is/does. Also, there will be drip marketing for 1.5 characters before 1.3 patch starts, so we'll certainly know if there are any upcoming ice/fire attack units. So overall, make your own decision of how you go about it. Just as a reminder, if you don't care about maxing endgame rewards, then of course you can pull for who you like. But if you do want to have good, strong, synergistic teams and have a relatively easy time to clear endgame content, then I highly recommend you get the synergistic packages or things that work very well together. And so far in this game, they generally push them back to back, so it can be a bit tough, and I hope you can prepare the best you can ahead of time, so you'll have enough pulls to get these packages if you want to go for them. And of course, if you still have any more questions or anything like that, feel free to ask me in the comments down below, or even better, feel free to ask me in my streams. I stream every single day on Twitch/YouTube. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I also do cover Honky Star Rail besides Zenless Zone Zero. There will be also more Honky Star Rail content to come besides Zenless Zone Zero. So yeah, this is it. I wish you a wonderful day and see you in the next video.